Sometimes it seems as if we've become a society in which everyone is in it for themselves, more concerned about what they can get out of it, rather than how something benefits the good of all. We often see that in how we treat one another and how we use our environment. For those of us who have tried to live our lives connected to our faith and the teachings of the Bible, this should not come as any great surprise. The Bible, both Old and New Testaments, have issued the call for justice loud and clear wherever God's word is proclaimed. Justice for the poor, the widow, those who society has pushed to the side and to the bottom, those who are suffering from oppression and turn their eyes to the God who promises hope, life, and abundance. But we too often see how quickly justice can be twisted from its purpose and manipulated to continue to harm those who are most vulnerable. Job, in the Old Testament book of Job, struggled with the meaning of justice when he suffered and tried to figure out what he had done wrong to deserve suffering, as his friends reinforced the view that it was his own fault. Unfortunately, Western culture and even the church have often promoted this understanding of sin and punishment. We have settled in many cases for a type of justice that places punishment for the wrong at the center of the system, and have become quite comfortable with the definition of justice as a system that harms people who harm people, presumably to show that harming people is wrong. So we inevitably set in motion an endless cycle of harm. How do we pull ourselves out of this cycle? I think it has to start with a new mindset based on who we are in relation to our God and to one another. We begin by understanding that we are all interconnected. In 2003, Linda took a group of our high school students to the National Youth Gathering in Atlanta. There's always a theme for the gatherings, and that year it was Do Life, centered around an African concept taken from the Bantu word Ubuntu. There is something about that word which has stuck with me all these years. Our young people were encouraged to live in a sense of all rightness with each other, with the Creator, and with the environment. This is really where our understanding of justice begins, as it grows out of our relationships with one another and how we are all connected in the fabric of the universe. We are woven together like individual threads, so that when one is broken or cut, it needs to be repaired so that the fabric can be whole again. In our humanness, there will always be actions that result in hurts and pain, things that need to be put right. When these things take place, our concern needs to be for the healing of those involved, those directly harmed, those who cause harm, and our communities. May we begin to see justice as a healing ground and not a battleground.